I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't really have time for an intro. I already stayed up past my bedtime watching this movie. So let's just get to it. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and tonight I had sat there for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours just scrolling through Amazon Prime. I looked through my list, the plethora of movies that are in my list, and I just and then I came across this poster for this movie, Avenged, which I eventually watched. I came across this poster for this movie, Avenged, which I eventually watched. And I remember right before Blockbuster went under, seeing this on the shelves at Blockbuster. You sons of bitchin' motherfuckers. Anyway, I remember seeing this on the shelves at Blockbuster, but I never bothered to rent it. And that's unfortunate because holy shit. Like, really, holy shit, dude. Some of the stuff in this movie, okay? So, this is one of your revenge type flicks. It's a lot like Revenge or I Spit on Your Grave, which it came out before Revenge, and it came out, after I Spit on Your Grave, because I Spit on Your Grave, if you didn't know, is a remake of a 1970s movie called I Spit on Your Grave. I don't know what movies you people are aware of. You never comment down below and let me know things, so I have no idea who I'm talking to. Anyway, this movie is about this deaf girl, right? She's deaf, she can't hear, and she can't really talk, because she's a deaf mute, okay? And she's in love with this guy. He lives all the way across the country or something like that. She's going to live with him. Okay, that's pretty much the plot of the movie. She's going to live with her new boyfriend, start her new life, and she's driving through like the New Mexico outback, and she's not paying attention because first of all, wait a minute, let's just stop. Are deaf people allowed to drive? I mean, granted they can see, but I would think that, if I couldn't hear anything while I was driving, I'm pretty sure that's an accident waiting to happen. Especially since she is deaf, and she's driving, and she's texting on the phone, and she almost hits an Indian. That's right. There's just a random Indian out in the middle of the road, but he's not just some random Indian out in the middle of the road. He's running from these redneck hillbillies that are chasing him, and they're chasing another one of his friends, and they let you know right away that this movie's probably low budget. It looks like it was filmed on like a Canon T, Rebel, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know. I'm not technologically advanced. I don't know these things, okay? I barely remember what the hell the name of this webcam I'm using is called. But anyway, beside the point, okay? This is obviously a low-budget movie. But they neglected to tell the special effects that. Because these special effects are fucking top-notch. Like, the dude legitimately looked like he got hit with a truck. I don't know if there's a clip or a picture. I'm just telling you that I think, from watching it, even though, like I said, it looks like it was shot on a Canon T. It's just something cheap about the way it was filmed. Like, it was filmed like digitally. It wasn't filmed on film or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a AV nerd. I wish I was, because then I would know what I was doing and I would make better videos. But anyway, so she sees this dude get hit with the truck. So she immediately backs her car up and tries to help the guy that she almost hit in the middle of the road. And then here come, the worst, most stereotypical small town redneck hillbillies that you ever wanted to see in your life. I mean, I mean, the acting's good, but it's just like it's kind of over the top at times. But anyway, so if you've seen either movie, Revenge or I Spit on Your Grave, you know what happens next. These guys, they're lonely, they're a bunch of perverts, and they take her back to their little shack, and they have their way. They turn it into the love shack. You know what I mean? But thank God they don't like show anything, too graphic. But there are some graphically graphic scenes in this movie. Just thank God they don't involve rape, because it's like, have you ever seen Irreversible? That movie scarred me for life. I don't ever want to see a fucking rape scene again after watching that movie. But let's not talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. We're talking about Avenged. See, it's hard to remember. Avenged. It's called Avenged. Okay, so we're talking about this. All right, so she's brutally beaten, and you know what they did. You know what they're gonna do to her. So yeah, they're like, so we either gotta keep her and use her as an object, or we're gonna have to kill her and throw her off a cliff somewhere. So they play a game of cards to determine her fate. Unfortunately for her, they're going to take her and throw her off a cliff somewhere. But unfortunately for them, this guy had stumbled upon her. It's actually this guy, because she was driving through the New Mexico and she stopped and she was looking at his little trinkets. Well, he stumbled upon her sticking up out of the ground because they didn't bury her all the way. So he tries to nurse her back to health, and then puts some kind of shaman, like, hey, yeah, like, no offense if I'm not doing it right, but yeah, and then all of a sudden she comes and she's floating, and it's all like, holy shit, what's gonna happen now? And he says something about, your mother sucks cocks in hell, and he's like, the hell she does, and then all of a sudden she wakes up and it's her, but she's being driven by a Native American spirit. I don't know. It's easier if you watch the movie, then you'll know what I'm trying to say. But like, yeah, she's dead. She's dead at a doornail. Okay, but she lives on through the spirit of this Native American who apparently has a grudge match with this son of a bitch who runs these people. Well, actually, I don't know who runs this shit, but there's this one guy. I don't know his name. I can't be bothered to look. But he's basically the main asshole. All right. But yeah, apparently his granddaddy had a problem with this dude, and his granddaddy was the other dude's. They're a bunch of Apaches, and this guy, he's a fucking racist piece of shit, as well as the rest of these guys. So yeah, they throw her off a cliff, they leave her for dead. She comes back to life, and she doesn't know where she is, because I don't know where the Indian went, but she's wandering around, and here's the police. She finds the police. Actually, I think she finds the payphone first. Okay, because she finds the payphone. But don't worry about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the whole movie. But yeah, she finds the payphone. Somehow she calls her boyfriend collect. I mean, yeah, you'd have to watch it to see how a deaf person calls somebody collect, and it was interesting. I was like, oh, well, how are they going to do this? Because, yeah, she's missing. She's supposed to be there. She's not there, so he's getting suspicious, so he comes and starts looking for her. He's like, hey, starts going around asking questions. But anyway, before all that, she goes and she sees the police. And she's like, oh, thank God it's the police. Oh, shit. It's one of the dudes that raped and beat her up. Yeah. One of the dudes is running around killing Indians and raping and beating white women. Is the fucking sheriff. Well, the sheriff's deputy anyway. The spoiler alert. But anyway, this leads into and letting you know that this movie's fucking badass. Like when she walks in, like he's sitting there talking about the two engines or whatever that her dad. He's like, oh yeah, they probably deserved it, and da 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 da. I'm fucking racist. And he's like, oh, did you hear about that deaf girl? He's like, oh man, she was a sweet ass, blah blah blah. I'd like to blah 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 with that, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, she's standing behind me, isn't she? And sure enough, she fucking mops the motherfucking floor with these dudes. This is probably my favorite scene in the movie, even though there's some crazier shit that happens later. But yeah, I watched this movie. I was going to wait until tomorrow to talk about it. But then after it was over, I was like, no. I'm just going to go sit down. We're going to talk about it now. But I don't want to sit here and spoil the whole fucking thing. But still, let it be known, that these guys did some horrible, horrible things. And then, basically, the Crow. Everybody wanted the Crow. They was talking about how the revenge was the Crow. But hey, you neglected this little movie that came out in 2013. This is the Crow. The remake that we've all been waiting for. We just didn't know it was here. We had no idea that it was here. Because, yeah, this movie, some of the acting's a little, like there's a scene where they're using her boyfriend as bait to get her to come so that they can, have some kind of chance. And he starts going, yeah, get him, babe. She's gonna tear you apart. And it was like, oh my fucking God. But other than that, like, his performance was good. Like, there's a scene where he's getting frustrated because he can't find her and he wants to know what the fuck's going on. And he's sitting in the hotel room crying and starts punching the wall. It was a believable performance. But then you get the shit like when he's saying stuff, and then like some of the dialogue, it's almost Rob Zombie territory. But it's supposed to be, oh, we're out in the middle of nowhere, who gives a fuck, and blah da da da. Bunch of hillbilly redneck racists, hillbilly redneck racists. But anyway, so yeah, it's a fucking the movie is called Avenged. Why? What do you think happens? Okay. But there's a lot of drama involved, especially because of the fact that the boyfriend is looking for her. He doesn't know what's going on. And then once we get to the ending, and I'm not going to tell you, like, just, because there's, I said she was dead, right? Well, we get to the ending, and it's pretty fucking heartbreaking. And I'm not going to lie, I got a little misty-eyed, a little misty-eyed. But you probably would too, because we're all a bunch of big sissies at heart, and we just don't talk about it. I'm the only one. I'm just not afraid to admit it. Okay. So, first of all, look at this shit. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? That's why you can't trust these goddamn IMDb's and these goddamn Rotten Tomatoes when it comes to horror movies. Because look at this. This guy's got it right. This is one of the IMDb. Like, it's got a 5.7, but it should have something. Like, because look at this. I didn't even read the whole thing. I just read that part. I was like, that's it. That's this fucking movie in a nutshell. But yeah, if I were to put a number on this, just out of pure fucking, just the story, and it kind of like, it took something that existed, like the I Spit on Your Grave scenario, and it added something new to it. And just for that alone, I'll put a solid 8 out of 10 on this bad boy. I have no shame in saying that I'm sorry. Never mind, I'm not even going to say. Some of you might have known what I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it. If you know what I was going to say, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, solid 8 out of 10 on this bad boy. Avenged. Solid 8 out of 10 on Avenged. But yeah, I don't want to, because there's the fucking finale fight. The fucking finale fight, man. I mean, holy fucking shit. I can't tell you about it. I can't show you about it. I don't want, heed my, message. Go out, get on Amazon Prime, and watch Avenged. Like, revenge who? You know what I mean? Revenge smavenge. I spit on what now? Yeah, go watch this. Like, I mean, I Spit on Your Grave probably might still be a little bit better just because, I don't know. I would have to watch that again. But this is fucking up there when it comes to revenge movies. I don't know how it has such a fucking low score on IMDb, because if you scroll through, that's just the one that caught my eye that I thought that I would show you. But if you scroll through, everybody else seems to enjoy this movie a lot, especially if you're a fucking horror fan. So if you're a fucking horror fan, go check. We'll say it one more time. Go check out Avenged. But I gotta go because I'm serious. It's past my bedtime, and I'm probably disturbing the secretary. It's Valentine's Day. She already ate too much tacos. Actually, I don't know what the hell. Oh, we got the. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just like the video, okay? Like the video so I can leave, and then you can subscribe. And then something about there's a Patreon thing, but I'm too lazy to do something. So just www.patreon, Drewski McGillicuddy, something like that. I don't know. Or don't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna leave.